Did he get a double blessing? Jesus already walked up to him and told him to be of good cheer, your sins are forgiven. That was the first blessing. And then the haters came in after the fact, telling him he's blaspheming. Then Jesus asked him what is easier. And I'm taking that as a challenge almost. Like, how dare you question what I'm doing? What's easier to do so I can show you the power that I have? How about I do both? I already forgave him when I walked up to him, and now I'm making him walk. Both blessings in front of you, and challenge them in a good way. Not like having a super big ego about it, but it's like, okay, you have a problem with what I'm doing. Which one is easier? So I can show you. I can do both. That's how I kind of took it. And also, why are the men mad at Jesus for doing something good for someone else? Why does that bother you? Why does somebody being positive towards someone, you're trying to uplift someone, why does that even bother you in the first place? I'm guessing that saved people don't need to be saved. Wealthy people don't need more money. Healthy people don't need to be more well. Deal with the opposites. Deal with people that are in need. I'm going to assume that Jesus was referring to himself. They don't need to fast because they're always in his presence. So he's kind of covering them, I'm guessing. There's no need for them to fast, but there's going to be a time when Jesus is not going to be in their presence. And then in their own ways will fast and fulfill themselves and fill their own cups. Their cups are always full when they're around Jesus in his presence. That's my assumption. It's almost like I don't need to go to the grocery store if I have all the ingredients. I only go to the store when I need something. Another group of people that got blessed and didn't shut up about it for some reason. What is it about getting blessed and wanting to talk about it? Why is Jesus constantly telling people after he blesses them to not talk about it? And they do it anyway. They asked for a blessing. They got it. He told them don't speak on it, but they ignore it. What's to that? I also like that he said that it's according to your faith. So where's your faith? I'm assuming that if one of them believed that only one of my eyes would be healed, then okay, according to your faith. So be specific in what you want. Don't do it. Go all the way in. And I'm going to assume that Jesus already knows they're going to go and talk about it. The takeaway from that is that maybe I was blind, but what could I see before I got blind? Was I born blind? So I'm just going to assume that at one point, maybe you could see, and then you became blind. So you know you could see again. And Jesus healed you. Now you can see. And maybe he doesn't want people to go back and talk about it because you don't want to be talked back into your illness or talked back into your disability, basically. Which will make sense because you have negative Nancys that would always try to, oh, well, it's going to come back, or that cancer is going to come back, or that disease is going to come back. And you don't want that type of energy. Or you could build a foundation up within yourself to where even if somebody says something like that to you, it just bounces off of you because you have a strong foundation. Nobody can negatively impact you because you built yourself up. You received wisdom, grace, and mercy and the knowledge of God freely. So you need to have that same energy and give it back. You didn't pay for this wisdom. You didn't pay for this grace and forgiveness. Give it back the same way that you received it. And also, everybody and everything isn't worthy of your time or energy. Use discretion. Sometimes you have to keep it moving. Don't waste your time on people that don't want to hear things. But you have a choice in that because you may want to work on somebody. You may be patient with that person or a situation, but you have a choice. But sometimes some things aren't worth it and you just need to keep it moving. If you're in a strong situation that you need to talk yourself out of, or just a situation where you need to speak from the heart, that seems to be all that is needed, is that you speak from the heart. A connected heart is all you need. Through the heart of God, trust that with the help of God, you will convey what you're trying to say to people. No need for notes and things like that. Just be genuine in the moment, right then and there. Just blurt it out. Don't overthink it. Whether it's meditation, sleep, dreams, that quietness, that stillness, that sweet spot, that aha moment that you have, no matter what you're doing, bring that to the light. Share it with someone. It'll be shared at the right time also, in the moment. It'll just flow through you. And don't overthink it. I tend to blurt things out. that's on my mind and heart sometimes. I have to train myself to do that because sometimes if we're not living in the raw truth of whatever we are talking about or saying, it gets diluted with us trying to make sense. Do I sound correct? Am I pronouncing this correctly? Do they think I'm crazy? Am I wrong? I had to learn to just speak. And if somebody catches something, cool. If not, that's cool also. Somebody is always talking shit about what you can and cannot do. And we all pick and choose what's right and what's wrong. Everyone picks and chooses at some point, but it seems like some people just take it too far into things that you should and should not do. Some people even want to kill, beat you up, disown you, etc. for not choosing what they choose. It seems like Jesus is being reasonable and showing them what's the difference from what I'm doing right now compared to what you claim to believe in. What's the difference? It was okay for David to do it, but not me. It was hypocritical, basically. To what degree are you going to follow all of these rules? If your child is dying right in front of you, are you not going to save them because it's a Sabbath day? How stupid is that? So you're either going to break it or abide by it always, but you have a choice. How do you even know what day it is truly? What time it is truly? The sun doesn't rise because it's 6 a.m. It's just weird. We made up things to make it easier for us. So how do you truly know what day it is anyway? Or if a year equals a second, does it really matter? When you're by yourself in your moment, meditating, sleeping, reflecting, whatever the case may be, and you feel something negative leave you, you heal something in yourself and you can feel it, let it go. You forgive somebody, a situation, whatever. You fill that void with something positive: love, wisdom, peace, prosperity, abundance, patience, joy, peace, happiness, etc. You released one negative emotion, greed, lust, hatred, whatever, but that void needs to be filled with something, and fill it with good things. Filled to the point that nothing else can enter that. And whatever example you want to use, whether it's a cup, glass, pot, soil in the ground, don't just empty out your negative vibes. Fill up that void with something good. Every day, every week, you should do something positive to build up your spiritual armor. You have to exercise your spiritual muscles in the same way you physically exercise. So when something or if something happens to you, you will have armor built up against it. No one has a problem-free life, but when problems do arise, you have something to fall back on. And some things may not be as big of a deal to you. When something speaks to your soul, it just makes sense to you. You let your doubt creep in, you talk against yourself. That word stuck to you for a moment, but your doubt killed it. You know what you heard was right in that moment, and you know it was for you. But doubt killed it. It killed the seed. The ground wasn't soft. It was hard. What I suggest is you prep your mental and your spiritual consistently, so when you do get a word, it sticks to you. Your soil is softened. You have tilled your ground. That seed will go deep. It can germinate within you. But if you feel with doubts, always cynical about life and people and always negative, the seed will wither and die. It doesn't have the nutrients to survive. Maybe that's living water. I've seen a verse in the Bible somewhere that talks about living water. So maybe that's live water. I mean, tears are water. It's composed of water. But maybe when you're crying tears of joy, that's you watering your seeds with living water. Your heart is just so full. You cry. You cry from happiness. It's not coming from a place of sadness or anything like that. It's happiness, happy tears. Maybe that's part of the process also. It all mixes together. When something is for you, it's for you. You'll know it. And when you have the means to get it, go get it. Let go of the stuff you currently have to get what you want. That new thing. You can always get stuff back if you want it. You'll always have what you need if you look at it that way. Live in the new, not in the old.